Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, today I have Lizzy Horvitz on the line, and she's founder and CEO of Finch. Lizzy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
All right, Lizzy, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. We'll talk about Finch, your vision behind it, and really how you're out there making a difference in the marketplace. But before we do that, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all, with our Mission Matters Minute. So, Lizzy, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Lizzy, what mission matters to you?
Well, at Finch, we make it easier for consumers and companies to practice sustainability.
That's awesome. Love bringing mission-based entrepreneurs and executives on the line to share why they do what they do, how they do it, and really how they're making a difference out there. So great to have you on. So just to get us kicked off, Lizzy, how did you get started as an entrepreneur? Like, where did all this become for you?
As an entrepreneur, it's funny, I never ever thought of starting my own company or even working at a startup. I had planned to spend my whole career at a massive company like a Unilever. And when that turned out to not be the dream job, I went to go work for a small startup based in Southeast Asia. And it was there that I was able to be the chief operating officer and really fell in love with taking a company from inception to scale and everything that comes with entrepreneurship. So it wasn't really until 2018 that I started working for a startup, and shortly thereafter realized I really like this and I'm good at it, so maybe I could do this on my own.
That's awesome. It's a great story. And a lot of entrepreneurs and executives listen to this show. And so I always like to say, if you could go back, Lizzy, and kind of give that Lizzy that was just getting started some tips or some insight, having benefit of hindsight, right, being 2020, what kind of things would you tell her?
It's a good question. I think I would highlight that each experience is unique, but there's no need to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of amazing resources online. A lot of people, like your podcast, love to share experiences, talk about what's worked and not worked. So there's really no need to sort of reinvent what other people have already done and been successful at in the past, and to sort of use those people as your North Star.
Great. So how did switching topics here a bit, how did the idea for Finch come up?
So I've been in the sustainability space for my entire career, passionate really about climate mitigation in the private sector. And because I'm one of the only people in my larger group of friends and family who have a formal background in this space, I started getting a lot of questions from them on what they could do to reduce their footprint. So, I just had a baby, what type of diaper should I buy, or what's the deal with aluminum in my deodorant, et cetera. And I had no place to send them. There was not one resource I could find online that was based in real data and science, but also accessible for anybody with any type of educational background to understand. And so I really wanted to find a nerd wallet for sustainability. So we think of NerdWallet as this one-stop shop for personal finance, and we wanted that to exist in the realm of sustainability and climate change. And that's how I thought of Finch.
That's great. What has been some of the feedback that you've gotten from Finch? Because it's interesting. It's a new concept, definitely new to me. And as you kind of like build something like this from scratch, like what's been some of the feedback?
I think, one of the most interesting pieces of feedback is that people want all different levels of information at different times, and it's really hard to predict how much information is too much or too little. And so sometimes people say, I just want to see the score of the product and that's it. And some people say, well, I really want to get in the nitty gritty, into the weeds. And so the advice we've gotten is to just create something that works for everybody, in a way that you can keep double clicking, right? You can have a layer of information here, and then if you want more, you can keep asking for it, but too much information might overwhelm people. I think the other piece of feedback that we've gotten that's been really well received is that Most people are not willing to spend, more than 7 minutes researching any of this online. These people don't want to be made guilty, feeling guilty about the choices that they are making. And so shame and guilt really are not a part of our ethos at all because of that feedback.
What take us through kind of usability of this. So I'm personally interested in using Finch. I go to the website, I'm thinking about like how to best get use out of the product. Like take me through the user experience, please.
Sure. So ideally the way a user would find out about us is through a Google search or a Bing search, right? They'd type in, how do I recycle this product? Or what is the best deodorant that is not going to hurt me, right? That's not going to be harmful from a human health standpoint. And ideally, Finch would show up through our search engine optimization as one of the first articles. And so then you're reading about deodorant, and then you're realizing, oh, I actually care about body wash and shampoo and all these other products. And the website can show you what the top 10 products are in each category. And then you realize, I want this when I'm in the middle of my shopping experience. I want this when I'm searching on Amazon, for example. And so we would direct you to download our browser extension, which works on Chrome, and you can get that directly from our website. You download it once, and then every time you go on Amazon, it just automatically pops up. So it's better than an app in that sense because you don't have to ever think about it again.
And so from the product side of things, so let's say that you have a product yourself and you're thinking about like how it's best used in the marketplace. Like how do brands get involved? So I guess that's where I'm going with it. Like how do brands get involved with Finch?
So right now brands really don't get involved. We rate products aside from any type of partnership. That's
great, by the way. I was hoping you would say that, Lizzy.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because then it's kind of like non-biased, right?
Exactly. We don't want to have any type of bias. We don't want to depend on brands for giving us information. And so we rate all those products anyway. The exciting part when brands will get involved is when we reach enough users, and our number for that right now is around 10,000, we would be able to take that data on our user behaviors, aggregate that, anonymize it, so we're never selling personal data, and sell that back to brands. And so we can then go to, let's say, Tide detergent, for example, and say, hey, you just lost 20% of the market share because people were looking at your product, realized it wasn't a highly scored product, and ended up going with a competitor. Let's help you get your score higher. And in the meantime, we can help you target it because we know what sort of words and types of sustainability impacts people are interested in. And so those consumer insights, we're really excited to engage the brands in that way.
What types of products are, and I know there's a ton of them, but just to give the audience a kind of like a scope or a feel for this, what type of products are typically rated?
So we have 85 categories rated, and they're mostly in the consumer goods space. And so it's products that you buy relatively frequently, paper towels, shampoo, toothpaste, things like that. And then we have a couple of outliers just because they're really interesting sustainability cases like mattresses, sheets, and pillows, and towels. Textiles are a big part. So basically things that you would buy for your kitchen or your bathroom, or your bedroom are ones that we have covered.
That's great. And I love it as I kind of talk to you more and more about this. When we think about having a trusted source that we can get the information from and get it clearly, like I even like your rating system because it's really simple and easy to understand. Like, how did you develop that?
So I'm non-technical, so I had a team of people who really helped me develop that. We decided to take an approach that was very specific to the individual category. And so we do a lot of research reading, academic papers, scientific reports that show what is the impact actually of shampoo, right, or of detergent. We'll look at, is it the packaging, is it the shipping, et cetera. And once we have a good feel for that, we then look at the 6 categories we operate in, which are climate change, human health, ecotoxicity, ecological footprint, waste, water, and biodiversity loss. And so with those 6, we sort of plug in different factors that relate to those 6 categories. And then we put that through a machine learning model, which will spit out scores for individual products.
It's great. Lizzy, I'll tell you, it's been great having you on the show today, learning more about Finch. I'm excited and happy to bring this to my audience so they can use it as a resource and tool. That being said, if my audience does want to connect and learn more about Finch, what's the best way for them to do that?
There are a couple of great ways. The easiest is to go to choosefinch.com. You can find us on social at choosefinch on Instagram and on Twitter and LinkedIn. And then, honestly, I love getting emails from users. We love getting feedback. And so if anybody wants to email me at hey@choosefinch.com, I'm the one that monitors that email, and we'll be happy to chat.
Wonderful. We'll put all that information into the show notes so that our audience can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time listening to a Mission Matters episode or engaging with the platform, we're all about bringing on business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and having them share their mission, the reason behind their mission, why they do what they do and what we can all learn and how we can grow together. If that's the type of content that's interesting or fun or engaging for you, we welcome you. Hit that subscribe button because we have many more mission-based individuals on the line, and we don't want you to miss a thing. Lizzy, really, it has been a pleasure. I'm wishing you much more continued success with Finch, and thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you. Bye.